Grab some of your scrap pieces of paper, make some squares, and let's make these cute little envelopes, whether they be mini size or more like your little card size, that sort of thing, almost gift card size. You can do that. You don't need any kind of punch or any kind of die. We're just going to use it with a straight edge and a pencil and take some glue. But grab those scraps and let's get started. I'm going to start off with 4 pieces of scrap paper. They're 4 different sizes and come from different backgrounds and everything. This is just a piece of paper that looks like some kind of boarding, and they're all squares. So this is about a little over 2.5. But yes, so this is a little over 2.5 that we're starting with. This one is just a black and white sheet that is a 3x3. Then I have a coffee dyed piece of graph paper that is a 4.5 by 4.5. And then this is a page. My coloring was off on my printer, but I still kept it. It was actually an envelope that you can see from the lines right here, the way it was drawn. But I decided to go ahead and trim this up into a 5x5 so we can see what this looks like. Now, most of the sheets are white on the back, and this is just copy paper besides this being graph paper. But these are thinner sheets of paper. You could double side print them. You could even use decorative paper on this. But I'm going to go with these thinner sheets and show you how you can make some envelopes. I'm going to start with this smaller piece that again was a little over 2.5. And this is what we need to do. We need to find the center. So I'm going to turn it over to the back side so that we're not going to mess up any of the front image. And then to find the center, I'm just going to take my ruler and we're going to cross the diagonals, and that point of intersection is the center. Or you can eyeball it and you take the chance, but I'm going to use my ruler. I'm going to line up here. Now, originally the way that I did this when I did some shorter videos is I would draw a light line across here and then on both sides, and then later I would have to go back and erase. But someone gave me the hint. They said just draw the strip right about where you think the middle is, and so you're not going to have to worry with erasing. So I'm going to try that. So I know the middle's right around here. I'm still doing a light little strip, and then we'll go across to the other diagonal. And we're looking for this point of intersection, and we can see it now. It's right here. We have that point of intersection marked. Now, depending if it matters, you would want to see what direction your paper is. My paper here, the direction doesn't matter. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 2 of the sides here, and we're going to fold into that point of intersection and just fold those lines in crisp. And this is the side of our envelope coming to life. Fold that in. Now, can you kind of see the envelope coming already? Okay, so here's the other thing. Right at this point here, I'm going to use my ruler. I'm not going to draw anything, but where these creases on the side were first made, I'm looking to this line right here, this imaginary line that's not really there, and that's what we're going to fold this piece up to have the point meet right there. If you need to hold a ruler there, or you can kind of just eyeball. It does not have to be perfect. Okay, and here is our envelope so far. But we've got this little point right here. Now, again, you can eyeball it, or one way that I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this down to where it's almost even with where we would want it to be, but I don't want it turned that way. I want it turned now this way. And the reason we fold it back first is because it's kind of hard to fold downward when you can't really see. Now we can see, but we're really wanting it this way, and it's time to add some glue. So I'm going to use my Tombow liquid glue, and I'm just going to put a little bit to fold that triangle down, and then I want a little bit along these places where we're going to fold up, just to hold everything in place nicely. Now you can see the shape of our little mini envelope. Here it is on the I guess you would say the front side, where if you were doing any addressing in your stamp. The last little bit that we want to do is we want to fold down the flap of the envelope, even there with the fold, and that gives us a rectangular envelope. The only thing else you may want to do, if you don't like that sharp point for your envelope flap, you can add a curve. Let's do it on the 1/4 inch, and I'm just going to line everything up and punch, and that gives me a little bit of a curve there. And there is my mini envelope. Now again, we started a little bit over 2.5, right? And so our final is 1 1/4 by almost 2, not quite. And this is a cute little envelope that now can be decorated, either if you're going to use it on this side as something, or if we're going to glue it down and add some decoration here. I'm going to go to the next size, and this is our 3 by 3, and we're going to do it the exact same way. Let's try the 1/2 inch punch now. That really curved it. And we'll fold this down. I don't know if I'm so crazy about that corner rounder. I may keep it as a little point. And there is the next one. Now this one that started out as a 3 by 3 is now a little bit over 2 by 1.5. And you can see a little bit of the difference, not very much difference, but there we go with our next size. And now for the 4.5 by 4.5. Doesn't really matter which side because it's the graph paper. Let's find the center. I have a little bit of a tear right here, so I'm going to fold this in up. I probably should have, actually I'm going to swap this out and see if it looks okay if I do this direction, so I can hide that little tear that I have. And we'll fold this down. It's okay if it already has those folds in it that I just now made. They don't have to be perfect, do they? And sometimes that's what makes them unique, is when they aren't perfect. And this one is going to look a little grungy because of the paper that it's made from. And I already have pretty much the fold that I want to use. I can use that. And that's a unique looking one, but I really like that. So the resulting for this one came out to be a little over 3 inches by 2.5. So again, compared to our other ones, this 4.5 gave us a little bit larger one. And we'll see now how the 5 by 5 turns out. really like these strawberries. And I think I want to make sure that I use this as the flap. So I'm going to fold this from this direction. And luckily we got these pieces hid. We've got that nice strawberry there. So I actually did it as I wanted to this time. Let's do some glue down. And we'll fold down our flap. If you wanted to leave the flap open, if you were doing a project, you could also do that. But wow, I did good on that one. I love these strawberries in the front here. Even this back side looks really neat. And this one turned out to be 3.5 by 2.5. No, yes, 2.5. So here are our 3 sizes from our paper. These will be great to use in different projects. I have showed you how you can do the flap. You can either do it cornered or you can leave them as points. You can work to try to get certain designs on your paper as you wish. You could use the double-sided paper. But now what I'm going to do, I'm going to end up keeping these and saving them for future projects. But let me show you how I've used some of these mini envelopes in a project that I have for a strawberry junk journal. In this piece, I used 5 little mini envelopes. They're about the size here that I used with this one, and I have decorated the outside. Here are the flaps, but I went ahead and glued the flaps down. You could do this really cute and add things inside the envelopes. These would work putting envelopes on different pages, but like I said here, this is a belly band. So it's a spot here that's available to slide pieces underneath, and I think it's a cute little thing. There are so many different things that you can use with this, and you can be looking in my upcoming projects because I am definitely going to make use of these envelopes and putting them in my projects.